if you are preparing for the civil services examination and you have opted for geography as your optional subject and you want to score more than 300 marks in your optional subject, then this video is for you. Friends, for over a decade now, I have been teaching geography optional. And out of my experience, I have devised a strategy that can help an aspirant score more than 300 marks. In this video, I'm trying to share that strategy with all the future aspirants and present aspirants who are planning to prepare with geography optional. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing with respect to geography optional preparation is, like any other optional, you have to gain awareness about the subject as well as the exam pattern. Now, first stage therefore becomes the awareness building stage or the awareness building phase. तो सबसे पहले आपको awareness होना चाहिए. Awareness about the syllabus, awareness about the pattern of the examination and awareness about the resources. तो इस awareness building phase को आप तीन तरीके से देख सकते हैं. First is awareness about the syllabus. Second is awareness about the pattern of the examination. And third is awareness about the resources. Resources generally means the books and other material that you will be utilizing while preparing for your geography optional. So let's start with this thing, awareness about the syllabus. सबसे पहले आपको दोनों पेपर का नाम पता होना चाहिए. और आप ये सोच रहे होंगे कि नाम में क्या रखा है? वेल, नाम में सब कुछ रखा हुआ है. Let's try to understand that. Paper 1 of geography is actually known as Principles of Geography. That's the name of paper 1, Principles of Geography. And paper 2 is known as Geography of India. अगर आपने ध्यान दिया इन नामों पर, then you will understand that the demand of these two papers are slightly different. Look at paper 1, the key word here is principles. Now, what actually paper 1 is seeking, or what you have to prepare under paper 1? When you look at the subject matter of paper 1, you'll understand that it mostly deals with the laws, concepts, the models, the theories, etc. of both physical as well as human geography. तो जैसे कि इस पेपर का नाम है प्रिंसिपल्स और इसकी डिमांड भी वही, that under this paper you have to prepare the various theories, laws, models, etc. related to physical geography and human geography. This paper is the core of geography preparation because the things that you learn in paper 1 is actually applied in paper 2. Paper 1 is the conceptual part, and those who will be weak in paper 1 cannot do well in paper 2 because paper 2 is just an extension of paper 1. In paper 1, you'll find that the entire syllabus is divided into two parts, part A and part B, and there are 10 units in paper 1. Part A completely deals with physical geography, whereas part B deals with human geography. और चाहे वो physical geography हो या चाहे human geography, आप एक चीज देखोगे that in both the sections, the focus is on laws, concepts, models, theories, hypotheses, etc. So, while preparing this paper, you have to understand that this has to be your focal point. Not only how these laws have been built, who provided these concepts, who gave the theories, but their application and their implementation in the real world. That is what you will learn in this paper. The approach that has been adopted for paper 1 is the systematic approach. Like there are several kinds of dichotomies and dualistic thoughts in geography. One kind of such dualistic and dichotomic thought is to divide or to see the paper either from the systematic lens or from the regional lens. What is systematic approach? In systematic approach, you take one geographical variable. वो कोई physical geographical variable हो सकता है जैसे rainfall, temperature या landforms. कोई human geography का भी variable हो सकता है जैसे population, agriculture, industries. It could be anything. But you take one variable at a time and you try to study the distribution, the evolution of that variable in the context of all the regions. It means, like say for example, distribution of iron and steel industries throughout the world. That is systematic approach. अगर आप paper 1 को देखें, you'll find, like say for example, in part A, there are 5 units: geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography, and environmental geography. They all talk about one important geographical variable. That could be landforms, that could be weather and climate, ocean water, soil, plants and animals, etc. And try to understand their distribution, evolution across the earth. Remember that the focus is always on laws, concepts, models, theories in principles of geography, hence the name principles of geography. अगर आप part B भी देखो, there also you will see that the units are perspectives in human geography, economic geography, population and settlement geography, regional planning, and models in geography, laws, models, and theories in geography. So in part B also, which is the human geography part, you will see the focus is again on these things: laws, concepts, models, theories. इतना कि एक यूनिट का तो नाम ही यही है, laws, models, and theories in human geography, which is the last unit and technically in part B, unit number 5. अगर आपको ये पता है कि the entire syllabus is divided between physical and human geography in a ratio of 50-50 as far as paper 1 is concerned, तो आप अपनी प्रिपरेशन को वैसे प्लान कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि जो एग्जाम होगा उसमें भी पार्ट ए पार्ट बी होता है, जो क्वेश्चन पेपर होता है, तो पार्ट ए पूरा फिजिकल होगा, पार्ट बी पूरा ह्यूमन. सो यू कैन pick choose one of these, although you have to prepare everything, but you can pick choose between them where you are slightly more stronger and you have to labor more. Of late, it has been seen that human geography has been more rewarding, because in physical geography, the questions are becoming more and more complex and you have to do a lot of labor in units like geomorphology. Therefore, human geography has become the crux of preparation as far as paper 1 is concerned. And in human geography also, one unit which is perspectives in human geography. We'll talk about that in a moment. So this is paper 1. It is principles of geography. It has a systematic approach. Its syllabus is divided 50-50 and it focuses on laws, concepts, models, theories. ये सबसे पहले आपको पता होना चाहिए. So here the focus is on concept, whereas in paper 2 the focus is on context. Now if you look at paper 2, the keyword here is India. Paper 2 is just an extension of paper 1. All the laws, theories, model, concepts that you learn in paper 1 are applied in paper 2 in the context of India. ठीक है? So the approach that has been followed for paper 2 is the regional approach. as I told you that there is a kind of say contest between the systematic approach and regional approach. Several geographers believe that this is the right approach to study geography, whereas others feel this is the right way to study geography. What is regional approach? In regional approach, you consider all the geographic variables, all the physical geographic variables and human geographic variables, and you study it with respect to one particular region. Like, say, for example, climate of India, soils of India, plants and animals of India, population of India, settlements in India, agriculture in India, industry in India, climate in India. It means everything in the context of India. That's why the approach here is regional approach. Unlike paper 1, where there is a clear-cut demarcation between physical and human geography and the division is almost 50-50, paper 2 is not like that. It also has 10 units. Paper 2 also has 10 units. But unit number 1, which is India physical setting, and 2 resources, they typically talk about the physical geography. So first 2 units are physical geography. Whereas from unit number 3 to unit number 9, it is human geography in Geography of India, paper 2. The 10th unit is a kind of, it's a kind of amalgamation. It's a kind of overlap between physical geography and human geography. The 10th unit is known as contemporary issues, but you will find that here also it is mostly human, but it also have some physical aspects with it. So unlike paper 1, where there is 50-50 division between human and physical geography, in paper 2, that's not the case. Only 2 units are completely physical, which is India physical setting and resources. The other units like agriculture, industry, trade and transport, cultural setting, political aspects, and contemporary issues, all these kind of population and settlement, you see all those kind of units mostly deal with human geography. यहाँ पे रेशियो कुछ 2:8 का बैठता है या 1:4, आप ऐसे देख लो, ठीक है. So unlike paper 1, paper 2 is not like that. So when you look at the question paper, जब उसके question paper 2 देखोगे आप for geography of India इस पेपर के लिए, तो आप देखोगे कि इसमें भी पार्ट ए और पार्ट बी होता है, लेकिन जैसे इसका पार्ट ए आपको पता है पूरा फिजिकल होगा, पार्ट बी पूरा ह्यूमन होगा, इसका वैसा नहीं. It is admixture. Further, in paper 2, there is one explicit question which is not to be found in paper 1, and that is the question on map marking. Sometimes in the past, this question has been asked for 10 marks and 10 marks map marking in part A and 10 marks map marking in part 2. Of late, it has been asked as 20 marks in part A itself. Okay, so this is the difference in the name, and the name gives us the hint. अगर आपको ये पता है, then you will mold your preparation accordingly. So paper 1 is principles of geography, focusing on laws, concepts, models, theories, etc. It has a 50-50 division of physical and human, whereas paper 2 has a regional approach. Unlike the systematic approach of paper 1, the context is India. We study all the things in the context of India, and there is emphasis on map marking, which is not to be found here. Here also you have to focus on maps, but these maps are different from these maps, because the maps that you will be making in paper 1 are mostly diagrams. Do you understand that? Diagram means not to scale, but यहाँ पे with scale एक map वाला question आता है at least, तो वो आपको करना है, and that is more about estimation or approximation and not exact accurateness. That's what we will understand as we go along. And in paper 2, the 10 units are not divided equally between physical and human. 1 and 2 is completely physical, the rest are mostly human. and the 10th one has a kind of overlap. Okay, so let's try to take a look at the syllabus as well as the resources. Let's start with पेपर 1 which is principles of geography. जैसा मैंने आपको बताया था पार्ट ए पूरा फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी. पहला यूनिट is geomorphology. This unit mostly deals with the landforms, endogenetic and exogenetic processes that are responsible for the creation of landforms, though exogenetic processes are heavy in this unit. Mostly aspirants, they give a lot of time to this unit, but of late it has been seen that this unit has not been so rewarding. In many cases, aspirants lose nearly 60% of their preparation time just preparing geomorphology. So you have to strategize accordingly. You have to understand कि geomorphology को आपको कितना time देना चाहिए. Well, all of that later in the video, but let's try to have a prima facie look at all the units first. So geomorphology talks about landforms, the distribution of landforms, evolution of landforms, the processes affecting landforms, and the laws, concepts, theories, etc. along landform development and evolution. Unit 2 is climatology. As the name is suggesting, it's dealing with weather and climate, the elements of atmosphere, the different models, the different theories with respect to climate and climate change, and how the climate impact a region. So second unit is mostly dealing with weather and climate. The third unit is known as oceanography. Oceanography deals with the distribution of oceans, how the ocean bottom looks, ocean water chemistry, ocean water movement like tides, waves, currents, etc. It's a very beautiful unit and a short one also to prepare quickly. Fourth one is biogeography, which mostly talks about the distribution of soil, the genesis of soil, how the texture of soil or the quality of soil or the soil processes that have shaped the soil are changing across the years, distribution of plants and animals, problems related to soil conservation, all of that is mostly dealing with soil, plants and animals. The fifth unit, which is environmental geography, it deals with ecology, the basics of it, applied ecology, how man and environment relationship has evolved and how man is impacting environment and how environment impacts man. This unit, in fact, is one of the ways to define geography. Man-environment relationship is sometimes considered as the key definition of geography. So this unit is also mostly the physical aspect of environment, though there is some kind of anthropogenic interference in this as well, like say in topics like conservation, management, ecosystem and their management, you have to bring in man while you are talking about this. Although paper 1 is mostly physical, you see in the fifth unit thoda sa human element aapko dikh raha hai. And once you know all the topics in the syllabus, you gain an advantage. I have seen several aspirants who do a lot of labor, but they do not know the topics of the syllabus and they struggle. So that's why, my dear friends, first thing is to familiarize yourself with the syllabus. Syllabus का हर unit आपकी मुंह ज़बानी होना चाहिए और हर topic आपको पता होना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि समझ लो किसी ने बोल दिया sea level changes and आपको पता ही नहीं है कि वो actually oceanography का part है. So you must know everything about it and every topic should be prepared. Okay. Then when we look at part B, as I said, part A is physical, part B is human. The first unit is perspectives in human geography. इसका दूसरा नाम है geographical thought. Now friends, listen to this very carefully. This to me is the most important unit in the entire geography optional syllabus, including paper 1 and paper 2, because this is the philosophy of geography. One who is good with this unit will do wonders in the examination. Perspectives in human geography talks about the various perspectives, it means viewpoints related to geography. It talks about how geography has evolved as a subject since the ancient times till the modern times. How geography got entry into universities, how different schools of geography have evolved, and what are the different phases of geography. How geography has undergone several paradigm shifts. Like say for example, once in the 50s and 60s, geography was mostly considered as a quantitative science, and there was a revolution called quantitative revolution, where mathematics, statistics, these were used to explain geographical concepts. But then there was a kind of response to this quantitative approach or quantification of geography, and behavioralism, feminism, radicalism, Marxism, welfareism, all these kind of philosophies evolved in geography. तो जिसका ये यूनिट अच्छा होगा, that person will not only help himself in paper 1 but also in paper 2. इस यूनिट को यूज करके आप हर यूनिट में कुछ ना कुछ लिख सकते. सो अगर इससे क्वेश्चन आया है डायरेक्टली तब तो बहुत अच्छा, अगर नहीं भी आया तब भी आप इस यूनिट को हमेशा यूज करते हुए पाएंगे. So make it a point, make a star in front of this unit. This is actually the star of the entire syllabus, perspectives in human geography. और अगर आप यहां पर weak हैं, then it will be very difficult to score more than 300 points. The second unit is economic geography. It mostly talks about the economic processes in the geographical context, agriculture, industry. And again, remember this, that focus is what? On laws, on model building, on theories, on concepts. Entire paper 1 वैसा ही चलता है. Third unit is population and settlement geography. So it talks about distribution of population, the population, how population has evolved, and how certain populations have established settlements. Settlements, rural and urban settlements, mostly morphology of towns, etc. Remember again, पेपर 1 में ज्यादा डेटा या इंफॉर्मेशन पे जोर नहीं है. ये पेपर 2 में है इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ इंडिया. पेपर 1 में मोस्टली कॉन्सेप्ट्स और थ्योरीज पे ज्यादा जोर, वही आपको भी रखना है. रीजनल प्लानिंग इज द फोर्थ यूनिट. इन दिस यू understand what is a region. Remember, I told you there is one approach called the regional approach in geography. Paper 1 is fully systematic approach. The regional approach is followed in paper 2. तो वो रीजनल अप्रोच को समझने के लिए सबसे पहले तो आपको एक रीजन को समझना पड़ेगा. सो दिस यूनिट डील्स विद कॉन्सेप्ट्स ऑफ अ रीजन, टाइप्स ऑफ रीजन, मेथड्स ऑफ रीजनलाइजेशन एटसेट्रा. ओके, तो आपको इस यूनिट में पता लगता है कि रीजन क्या है. देयर वाज अ वेरी great movement in geography which focused on study of regions, and Richard Hartshorne, one of the famous geographers, have given the concept of areal differentiation, though other scholars like Strabo have also talked about it. But areal differentiation मतलब हर area जो है एक दूसरे से different है, इसलिए हमको हर area को unique मान के वैसे पढ़ना चाहिए. That is the regional approach. And several geographers feel that regional approach should be the key in geography. So that's why this unit also becomes very crucial. The fifth unit is models, theories and laws in human geography. तो इसने तो पूरा एक हिंट ही दे दिया आपको कि ये पेपर 1 है क्या. Although models, theories and laws in human geography यहां पर लिखा हुआ है, हम ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं models, theories and laws in climatologies, model theories and laws in oceanography, तब भी सही. तो आप समझ रहे हैं मैं क्या कहने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं. Here you learn about different models related to demography or population geography, several models related to settlement geography, economic geography like agricultural geography का von Thunen का मॉडल आप पढ़ेंगे, इसमें वेबर का इंडस्ट्रियल लोकेशन का मॉडल पढ़ेंगे आप, इनमें पॉलिटिकल ज्योग्राफी जैसे मैकिंडर का हार्टलैंड थ्योरी. सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट मॉडल्स, थ्योरीज एंड लॉज इन ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी. दिस यूनिट, फिफ्थ यूनिट, along with the first unit, these two units, if you will see, they form the core of the science of geography. In geography, there are two ideas. One is chorography, the other one is chorology. Choro means region. Chorography means description of region. Chorology means the science of region. So जब आप science of region की बात करेंगे, you have to have philosophy and you have to have the models and the theories and the laws. So that is paper 1. आपको पता रहना चाहिए कि ये 50-50 डिवाइडेड है और फोकस जो है इसका वो है लॉज, मॉडल्स, थ्योरीज. दैट्स व्हाई इट्स नेम प्रिंसिपल्स. प्रिंसिपल्स इज द कीवर्ड. लेट्स नाउ टेक अ लुक एट पेपर 2 सिलेबस आल्सो एंड लेट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कि जो हम बात कर रहे थे वो इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में भी अप्लाई हो रहा है या नहीं. Paper 2, as I said, name is Geography of India. The focus is India. India is the region. So therefore, the approach here is regional approach. Regional approach में क्या होता था? You take one region at a time and you try to study all the geographical variables with respect to that region. It could be climate, it could be landforms, it could be people, it could be agriculture, it could be any kind of geographical variable, be it physical or human. आपको याद है जैसे पेपर 1 हमने देखा था सिलेबस, तो उसमें पार्ट ए पार्ट बी लिखा हुआ था. इसमें देखो वो गायब है, पार्ट ए और पार्ट बी नहीं है, क्योंकि वहां पर वो लिखना बड़ा आसान था. पार्ट ए डील्स फुल्ली विथ फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी एंड पार्ट बी डील्स फुल्ली विथ ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी. हियर इट इज नॉट द केस. द फर्स्ट यूनिट्स, फर्स्ट इज फिजिकल सेटिंग, in which you will find the geomorphology, the climatology, the oceanography, everything related to India and her neighbors, physical setting, everything. Okay. And part 2 is resources, or second unit is resources. So physical setting, the first unit, and the second unit, resources. अगर आप देखोगे ये दोनों physical geography हैं. Although ये बस 2 ही यूनिट हैं, बट एग्जाम में जब आप देखोगे तो हो सकता है कई बार इनका एक डिसप्रोपोर्शनेट वेटेज भी हो जाए, बट ओवर द इयर्स यूपीएससी इज मेकिंग मोर और लेस अ बैलेंस्ड पेपर. तो सभी यूनिट से क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं. थर्ड यूनिट डील्स विद एग्रीकल्चर ऑफ इंडिया. It talks about like cropping pattern, agricultural productivity, agricultural intensity, green revolution and socio-economic benefits, etc. Fourth unit is industry with respect to India, like evolution of industries in India, distribution of industries in India, industrial problems, everything you have to read in the geographical context. Third unit, agriculture. Fourth unit, industry. And fifth unit, transport, communication and trade. They are actually economic geography. तो जो फर्स्ट पेपर में आपने इकोनॉमिक ज्योग्राफी पढ़ा था, उसके मॉडल्स, थ्योरीज, लॉज जो भी आपने पढ़े थे, you have to apply that in the context of paper 2, the third unit, fourth unit and fifth unit. Otherwise you are not going to gain marks here. Sixth unit talks about cultural setting. When you look at the first unit of part B of paper 1, it means perspectives in human geography, जो मैंने आपको बताया था सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट यूनिट है. उसका लास्ट फैगिंग सेक्शंस जो आप देखोगे, जहां पर जो एंड हो रहा है सिलेबस पर्सपेक्टिव्स इन ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी का, वहां पे आपको कल्चरल रीजन्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड ऐसा कुछ मिलेगा. ठीक है. सो यू हैव टू अप्लाई द कॉन्सेप्ट्स फ्रॉम देयर here, and here you have to talk about historical perspective of Indian society, racial, linguistic and ethnic diversities, religious minorities, major tribes, etc. So the culture of India you study in the geographical context. It means you take one particular region, it could be a part of India or entire India, and you talk about whether the region is monocultural, multicultural, what are the elements of the culture and how geography has shaped culture, all of that. Okay. Then comes settlement. Although in paper 2 you won't find the word population written anywhere, but यहाँ पे क्योंकि जब हम cultural settings पढ़ते हैं तो यहाँ पे कुछ हम population के बारे में भी पढ़ना शुरू कर देते हैं इस पेपर. But settlements cannot be understood without having an understanding about population. इसलिए पेपर 1 में population and settlement geography को एक यूनिट बनाया गया. आप ये ध्यान दीजिए. Here what has been done is that settlement has been highlighted as a separate unit, and the focus is on types, pattern, morphology. Morphology means the shape of settlements, how settlements have evolved over years, how Indian cities, Indian towns have evolved, what is the role of census and all of that. Everything in the context of India. Eighth unit is regional development and planning. Remember regional planning, or the thing that we studied in paper 1 as part of part B, fourth unit, regional planning. उसी regional planning के concepts को use करके यहाँ पे आपको इंडिया के context में समझना पड़ेगा. You understand that? Like so for example, the 5-year plans in India, or the block level planning, district level planning, state level planning, national level planning. Of late you would see this unit has become slightly less important after the banishment of the planning commission, but the nature of questions have altered. Okay, तो planning पे अब उतना focus तो नहीं है, but block level और district level और village level, like aspirational district program, या समझ लो कि जिला परिषद and और पंचायती राज institutions, how they have helped, how geography can guide their thinking, there has the focus shift. So that's why this unit, although redundant after the abolishment of the Planning Commission, has attained a new kind of relevance. Then comes ninth unit, which is political aspects. This is mostly political geography in the context of India, where you have to talk about how geography has helped India into becoming a federal state, state reorganization. So this is the kind of marriage between political science and geography. Geography is a mother science which draws heavily from all the other sciences, okay, be it economics, be it demography, be it meteorology, be it sociology, psychology, philosophy, history, or even political science and public administration. So पॉलिटिकल साइंस के जो भी कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं उनको हम ज्योग्राफी के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में पढ़ते हैं. कॉन्टेक्स्ट यहाँ पे इंडिया है, ठीक है. इन द पर्सपेक्टिव्स इन ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी एज वेल एज मॉडल्स, थ्योरीज एंड लॉज इन ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी, उन दोनों यूनिट में आपको पॉलिटिकल एस्पेक्ट की थ्योरी समझ में आ जाए. एंड हियर यू हैव टू implement it in the context of India, and you have to deal with issues like, say, cross-border terrorism, India's role in world affairs, geopolitics in South Asia and Indian Ocean realm. यहाँ पर questions mostly current affairs से आ रहे हैं अभी, so that's why you have to prepare current affairs very well when you want to ace this unit. The last unit is contemporary issues. It is mostly talking about hazards and disasters and conservation, protection, rehabilitation, prevention. ठीक है, यहाँ पे मोस्टली आपको दिखेगा क्या, एनवायरमेंटल इश्यूज और एनवायरमेंटल प्रॉब्लम्स, चैलेंजेस एटसेट्रा इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ मैन. हालांकि यहाँ पर आपको फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी दिखेगा थोड़ा, लेकिन ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी डोमिनेंट है. जैसे आप देख लीजिए, एनवायरमेंटल हैजार्ड्स, लैंडस्लाइड्स, अर्थक्वेक्स, सुनामीज, फ्लड्स, दे आर ऑल फिजिकल थिंग्स, ओके, फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी. बट हु इज गेटिंग अफेक्टेड बाय ऑल ऑफ दिस? Humans. And who can plan to avoid this kind of crisis, or who can reduce the crisis? There are two kinds of geographical thinking. One is deterministic thinking, जो ये कहता है that nature is the master and we have to just live under the commands of nature. There is another thinking called possibilism. Possibilism says that man is in control and nature is a friend. Nature gives hints and provides possibilities for man to grow. Possibilists focus on technology and man's capability, ingenuity to comprehend and to prevent disasters or to mitigate the hazards. But deterministic geography is that geography which says that man cannot do anything about nature and man is just a slave of nature. Nature is the master. हम देखेंगे जब आप पढ़ोगे अपना सिलेबस तो आपको पता चलेगा that the German school of geography was mostly deterministic, whereas in French school there was a scholar called Vidal de Lablache. He was mostly possibilistic in his approach. Okay, in fact he is also known as the father of possibilism. तो एक बार जब आपको syllabus पूरा पता लग गया, you gain awareness about the syllabus, then what you have to do is you have to understand that how is the examination pattern. So let's look at the question papers to understand how the examination pattern is. So let's start with paper 1. Okay, so in paper 1 what happens is there are 8 questions, and out of 8 questions you have to solve 5. All questions carry 50 marks. Therefore total sum अगर आप देखोगे तो 400 है, पर क्योंकि आपको 5 करने, that's why the maximum marks in the paper becomes 250. Question number 1 and question number 5 are compulsory in paper 1. और पेपर 1 में जैसे आपने सिलेबस देख लिया था फिजिकल और ह्यूमन में टूटा हुआ, तो आप देखो पेपर 1 इज पार्ट 1 इज फुल्ली फिजिकल, पार्ट ए, एंड पार्ट बी इज फुल्ली ह्यूमन. ओके, इन पार्ट ए you will find the first question has 5 sections, A, B, C, D, E. सब 10 मार्क्स के होते हैं और 150 वर्ड्स के होते हैं. मोस्टली यहाँ पे तो वर्ड लिमिट नहीं मेंशन होता है, बस मार्क्स मेंशन होते हैं ऑप्शनल में, पर आप समझ लो 150 वर्ड्स होता है या 1 से 1.5 पेज आपको इतना लिखना होता है, बट क्वालिटी आपको लिखना. ऑफ लेट दिस हैज बीन फाउंड दैट ये पांचों जो सेक्शन है दे कम फ्रॉम द 5 यूनिट्स ऑफ फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी. Initially this used to happen that students would pick certain units and they would try to solve that. But here UPSC has played the trick. UPSC wants those aspirants who have prepared the subject comprehensively, and that is fair also. Those who have labored more must give or must get more reward. So हो सकता है एक क्वेश्चन क्लाइमेटोलॉजी से, एक क्वेश्चन ओशनोग्राफिक से, एक क्वेश्चन जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी से, एक बायोजियोग्राफिक से, एक एनवायरमेंटल ज्योग्राफी से, ऐसे बन के आ जाए ये पूरा. दो in some years it has been found that from one unit 2 questions has been asked, but nevertheless 4 units तो होंगे ही इस section. And the same can be said with respect to question number 5. Question number 5 also has 5 subparts, and here also from every unit of human geography there is one question: perspectives in human geography, economic geography, population and settlement geography, regional planning, and models, laws and theories in geography. तो आपको अगर ये पता है ये दोनों चीजें, तो आप पूरे यूनिट्स को तैयार करोगे, और ये कंपलसरी हैं, एंड टोटल दे मेक 100 मार्क्स, 50 मार्क्स, 10 मार्कर है यहाँ पर भी. All the other questions what you will see has 3 parts. Question number 1 and question number 5 has 5 parts, and they cover the entire syllabus and they are compulsory. ये आपको ध्यान रखना. All the other questions in question number 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, they have 3 parts. Out of these 3 parts, एक part होता है 20 मार्क्स का, और बाकी दोनों होते हैं 15 मार्क्स के. तो 15 मार्क्स का आप समझ सकते हो 250 वर्ड्स, और 20 मार्क्स का आप समझ सकते हो नियर अराउंड 350 to 400 वर्ड्स. पर यहाँ पे वर्ड लिमिट मेंशन नहीं होता. Here you will find again, initially this was the thing with UPSC before the pattern change, that one full question comes from one unit. सारे सब पार्ट्स जो होते थे वो एक ही यूनिट से. बट अब क्या होता है that even here, like let us take a look at question number 2. Evidences from paleomagnetism and sea floor spreading have validated continents and ocean basins have never been stationary. So this is coming from the plate tectonic, continental drift, those kind of ideas. It means geomorphology. Second question is explain the characteristics of weather conditions associated with anticyclones, giving suitable examples. So this is from climatology. आपको समझ में आ रहा होगा. And the third one, if you see how are ocean currents generated, discuss their effects on coastal climates with special reference to Pacific Ocean. तो एक क्वेश्चन जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी से, एक क्वेश्चन क्लाइमेटोलॉजी से, और एक ओशनोग्राफी से. तो यहाँ पे भी आप बच नहीं सकते. हाँ, वहां पे आपको 5 में अच्छा होना है, बट यहाँ पे कम से कम 3 में तो अच्छा होना पड़ेगा. Out of the remaining 6 questions, you have to pick 3. But out of those 3, what you have to ensure that there should be at least one question from each part. It means ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि आप 2, 3, 4 कर ले, या 5 या 6, 7, 8 कर ले. आपको ऐसा करना पड़ेगा 2, 3 और वहां से समझ लो 7 ले लिया, या वहां से 7, 8 यहां से 4 ले लिया. मतलब हर सेक्शन से आपको एक क्वेश्चन तो करना पड़ेगा. Of late, friends, this has been found that human geography has been more rewarding because the questions are more direct in human geography. And as I said, one who is good with perspectives in human geography will make lot of gains as far as the geography optional is concerned. तो यहाँ से generally 2 questions aspirants ले रहे हैं, and in physical geography they are taking 1 question. Okay, because some of the questions in geomorphology वो थोड़ा ऊपर से जा रहा है, क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी आ गई है इन जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी के क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है. एंड एज यू सी, maximum, leave the question number 1 which is compulsory question, maximum you will see 50 marks from geomorphology, 50 marks from climatology, something like that. तो 50 marks के लिए 60% of time during preparation लोग दे देते हैं, and that is disastrous. That's why you need the right strategy. When you look at paper 2, you'll find that in paper 2, which is Geography of India, if you look at that paper, it is slightly different. यहाँ पर भी 8 questions होते हैं, आपको 5 करने होते हैं. 250 is the maximum marks. Question 1 and question 5 are compulsory, but how is question 1 framed? That is different. इसमें एक question होता है map marking का, और वो 20 marks का होता है, where some places are given, like say for example Ross Island or Ramappa or say Ennore Port, और आपको एक मैप दिया जाता है, इंडिया का आउटलाइन मैप along with हर नेबर्स, और आपको लोकेट करना होता है मैप पे, एंड देन यू हैव टू राइट 30 वर्ड्स ऑन each of these places. And what you have to write? You have to write anything related to physical, commercial, economic, ecological, environmental, cultural aspect of this thing, this place. In fact, आपको सब लिखना चाहिए. And this vindicates my point that I have been putting here so far, that it is regional. The entire paper is regional in approach. क्योंकि आपको जैसे नाथुला है तो आपको उसका फिजिकल, कमर्शियल, इकोनॉमिक, इकोलॉजिकल, एनवायरमेंटल, कल्चरल सारे एस्पेक्ट लिखने. इट मींस ऑल द जियोग्राफिक वेरिएबल्स विद रिस्पेक्ट टू वन प्लेस, व्हिच इज द कोर ऑफ ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफीज रीजनल अप्रोच. ओके, तो ये 20 नंबर का होता है. इसकी वजह से पार्ट ए का जो क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 है उसमें सिर्फ 4 ही क्वेश्चन होते हैं. बी सी डी बस 4 होते हैं. पेपर 1 में 5 होते हैं, इसमें 4 होते हैं, क्योंकि एक मैप मार्किंग होता है 20 मार्क्स का. एंड हियर आल्सो यू वुड सी मोस्टली क्वेश्चंस आर पिक्ड रैंडमली फ्रॉम द सिलेबस. इट्स नॉट लाइक वेल अरेंज्ड लाइक इन पेपर 1. दैट्स व्हाई पेपर 1 अगर अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करो तो उसको ज्यादा अच्छे से प्रिडिक्ट किया जा सकता है. इट्स मोर प्रिडिक्टेबल. बट पेपर 2 इज मोर स्कोरिंग. इफ पेपर 1 के कॉन्सेप्ट्स को लगाया जाए इसमें, देन इट इज मोर स्कोरिंग. कीप दिस थिंग इन माइंड. All the other questions, if you see, again question number 5, मैं आपको पहले वो दिखा देता हूँ. Question number 5, if you see, question number 5 has 5 parts and all of them 10 markers picked from different units. क्योंकि पेपर 2 का सिलेबस पेपर 1 की तरह वेल ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं है, जैसे कि पार्ट ए और पार्ट बी, पार्ट ए फुल्ली फिजिकल, पार्ट बी फुल्ली ह्यूमन, ऐसा नहीं है. इसकी वजह से आपको क्वेश्चंस में भी वही चीज दिखेगी, that the questions are an amalgamation of things that have been picked randomly throughout the syllabus. That's another thing that you have to keep in mind. तो यहाँ पर ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि आप कोई एक पार्ट को अच्छा कर लेंगे तो अच्छा हो जाएगा. आपको सब कुछ आना चाहिए with respect to paper 2. And this is the trick that UPSC has played, कि आप लगा लो जितना दिमाग लगाना है आपको पेपर 1 में, पेपर 2 में आके तो आप फंस जाओगे. Therefore, my dear aspirants, it's my advice to prepare everything. Once you prepare properly, you don't have any kind of lack of confidence with respect to paper 2. यहाँ पे भी वैसा ही है. पार्ट ए का फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन और पार्ट बी का फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. It means question number 1 and question number 5 are compulsory, and out of the remaining 6 questions you have to write 3, and you have to pick at least 1 from each part so that you address both the parts. एक बार जब आपको ये पता लग जाता है, you understand that how the syllabus is, what are the different approaches that you have to follow. अगर आपको ये सब कुछ पता लग गया, then the next thing that you have to keep into mind is what resources should you pick. कहाँ से आपको चीजें उठानी चाहिए. Now listen to this very carefully, my dear friends. Some people might say that you don't have to read standard books, just read through notes and that will be sufficient. Well, I strongly disagree, because if you want to gain mastery over any one particular topic and you have to understand that at depth, you have to read from standard sources. But at the same time, I acknowledge that it is impossible to read all the books from cover to cover. That is not advisable, nor it is profitable. Then what to do? आपके क्लास नोट्स तो obviously आपका बेस होगा, but over and above that, you have to read some standard books, and these books are non-negotiable. Like say for example, Dikshit or Adhikari with respect to perspectives in human geography is crucial. आपको पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा. Shavinder Singh with respect to physical geography is crucial. You have to read that. Okay, or models in human geography by Majid Hussain. You have to read that. Apart from these standard books, आप 5 से 6 ऐसे कुछ books बना सकते हो, and obviously you have to do that labor if your dream is to score more than 300 plus, because your competitors must be doing that. बाकी books को आप reference की तरह use करें. It means किसी book में हो सकता है कुछ अच्छा दिया हो, and try to extract it from the book and try to put it at one place so that you have an integrated source from which you can revise proper. So here I am giving you a book list, a quick book list that you must have, and these books will help you while you are preparing. So for paper 1, these are the books that you must have. Physical geography के सबसे पहले you start with Made Simple Physical Geography by Rupa Publication. It's an excellent read. It's non-negotiable. आपको पढ़ना ही है ये, ठीक है, and it will help you in your GS also. Physical Geography, Shavinder Singh. That would be sufficient. Many people would say go for geomorphology, climatology, oceanography separately for Shavinder Singh. Well, that is not advisable nor profitable. ठीक है, Physical Geography by Shavinder Singh would be enough. बट क्लाइमेटोलॉजी के लिए आपको थोड़ा सा शविंदर सिंह के साथ साथ डीएस लाल भी देखना है, एंड दिस यू हैव टू यूज एज रेफरेंस, या इसको कोर बना लो क्लाइमेटोलॉजी के लिए एंड यूज शविंदर सिंह एज रेफरेंस टू फाइंड आउट द गैप्स. ओशनोग्राफी बाय शर्मा एंड वतन, that can be the reference, and you can use Physical Geography by Shavinder Singh as the core book, or you can go vice versa as well. Environmental Geography by Saxena. आप याद रखिए कि अगर आप ये किताबें पढ़ रहे हैं तो ये रेफरेंस हो जाता है इन यूनिट्स के लिए, वरना ये किताब काफी होगी फॉर पेपर 1 पार्ट ए along with your classmates. Okay, then Human Geography, you have to read Made Simple Human Geography by Rupa Publication. ये एक फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी की, एक ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी वाली रूपा पब्लिकेशन. मेड सिंपल, जैसा इसका नाम है, सिंपल लैंग्वेज है और अच्छे से दिया हुआ है, हर टॉपिक को अच्छे से कवर किया गया है, and you can use exactly the ideas that are mentioned there in your answer sheet. It will improve the quality of your answer. Geographical Thought by R.D. Dixit or Sudipta Adhikari. You can pick any one of them. Okay, I'm not backing for any one particular of them, but you can pick any one of them. Both are equally good. But आपको ये बुक तो पढ़नी ही है. Ideally, मैं तो सजेस्ट करूंगा कि आप दोनों पढ़ लें. एक को कोर बना लो, दूसरे को रेफरेंस बना लो. एक का कोर पढ़ते रहो और बाकी जो एक्स्ट्रा मटेरियल है दूसरे से, उससे पिक करके उसको रेफरेंस की तरह यूज करो. Then Models in Geography by Majid Hussain. This is also an essential book. So in Human Geography section, the first 3 books और the first 3 books में, सेकंड में आप दीक्षित या अधिकारी में से कोई भी पिक कर सकते हो. The first 3 books are essential, mandatory, indispensable. जो समझना है समझ, ठीक है, you have to do that. Geography of Population by R.C. Chandana, again as a reference, and Settlement Geography by K. Siddharth, again as a reference. So these are the important books for paper 1. For paper 2, what you have to do? For paper 2, the first book is Geography of India by D.R. Khuller. एक और book है वैसे by Majid Hussain, Geography of India by the same title, और पेपर का भी यही नाम है, Geography of India. आप इन दोनों में से कोई एक ले सकते हैं, ठीक है. The problem with these books are they are very descriptive, because they are written more by accumulating facts. So while you are preparing your notes, what you have to do is that you have to simplify the facts given in these books through diagrams. और वो आप कैसे कर सकते हो, I'll talk about it in a moment. But these are the 2 books. Then Political Geography of India by B.L. Sukhwal. You can also use this book. Otherwise, your class notes would also be sufficient for this part. Regional Planning, Chand and Puri. And Urbanization and Urban Systems in India, रामचंद्र. ये बुक्स आप पढ़ सकते हो अगर आपके पास टाइम है तो, पर ये इन दोनों में से एक बुक तो आपको लेनी ही पड़ेगी, बीट खुल्लर, बीट माजिद हुसैन. The advantage with this one is this is slightly less descriptive than this one. This is more descriptive, but the advantage with this one is this is more comprehensive. It covers everything. Majid Hussain also covers everything, but not to that extent as Khuller does. Okay, so that's why. Other resources become very important for paper 2, क्योंकि एक मैप वाला क्वेश्चन आता है तो आपको एक अच्छा एटलस आपके पास होना चाहिए. It could be Orient Black Swan, it could be Oxford, it could be anything. Economic survey आपको पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा, because you have to write about agriculture, industry and all those things, and you have to utilize government schemes as part of your answer writing. So you cannot do without economic survey. Newspapers, and here you can follow Hindu, Indian Express or any other newspaper also which has some geographical inclination. वहाँ से आप ले सकते हो. Hindu would be sufficient in this case. Some people will also suggest that you go for a lot of magazines like Geography and You, Down to Earth, etc. तो आप देख सकते हो if you have time, but one magazine is crucial, which is Yojana. It will also help you in your essay paper. Okay, so this is the book list for paper 2. अब जब आपको ये अवेयरनेस हो गई that what you have to learn, from where you have to learn, how the syllabus is, how the exam pattern is, now actually starts your learning process. So learning process कैसे शुरू होनी चाहिए? First thing is you should start with the NCERTs. And this you should start even before joining a particular course of geography option. And which NCERTs? You have to read from 6th to 10th first. That has to be your first endeavor. And these are simple books written for children, and you can finish it in a month if you dedicate yourself completely. Okay, and month is also too much for this. Once you're done with this, then you should pick the 11th and 12th standard NCERT. So at the core of your preparation should be NCERTs. These books will familiarize you with certain concepts and will also tell you that what you can expect under the scope of this subject. Okay, therefore these books are important. Once you are done with that, then what I would suggest is that you have to join a class for geography option. You can also prepare on your own if you have that much kind of understanding, but when you join a class, it gives you an in-depth perspective because the teacher in the class has been reading the subject for several years, knows the in and out of the subject, the hot topics of the subject, the probable areas from where questions can be asked, can also act as your mentor and help you understand answer writing. Time is limited, my dear friends. That's why joining a class makes a lot of sense as far as geography optional preparation is concerned. Once you have joined the class, then you will definitely have your class notes. That will be your second thing to read after the NCERTs. Class should be comprehensive, and while choosing the class, what I would suggest is you have to focus on the teacher. क्योंकि टीचर जो बता रहे हैं वो आपको समझ में आना चाहिए. And all teachers are good. You can go for anyone. But all I'm saying is that you must have a kind of understanding with respect to the teacher. क्योंकि हो सकता है टीचर के पास बहुत नॉलेज है बट वो जैसे पढ़ाते हैं वो आपको नहीं समझ में आ रहा, तो वो आपके लिए डिजास्ट्रस हो जाएगा. Because unlike GS where you have group of teachers, optional is one teacher subject. That's why you have to be very sure about the teacher. The teacher must not only be well versed with the subject, but टीचर जो बात कर रहे हैं, जो समझाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, वो आपको समझ में आ रहा है. It means there is a kind of rapport between you and the teacher. That's why teacher becomes very crucial in this. Then you will have your class notes. Once you are reading your class notes, what I will suggest is parallelly you pick those two books, Rupa publication, Physical Geography, and Rupa publication, Human Geography. These two books you should start reading side by side. And try to read these two books page to page or cover to cover. ज़्यादा मोटी नहीं है किताबें, और अगर आपकी क्लास अच्छी चल रही है, क्लास नोट्स आपके अच्छे हैं, you will not find much difficulty in understanding these books. Then you should graduate to the standard books. And while you are reading the standard books, you have to solve the PYQs. And there has to be somebody, mostly your teacher. Therefore, I said the teacher becomes very crucial. Your teacher has to give you some kind of feedback on what you are writing. Then, once you are done with your class, then you should pick a daily answer writing program on geography. Because daily answer writing will be your second revision. ये तो आपका पढ़ा है बस आपने, और जब आप स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स पढ़ रहे थे वो आपका फर्स्ट रिवीजन था. दिस विल बी योर सेकंड रिवीजन. इन डेली आंसर राइटिंग प्रोग्राम, nearly 3 to 4 questions you will write on a day-to-day basis, so that will give you a momentum. It will not allow you to go off track even when your classes are over. You will get mentorship which will help you in improving the quality of your answers. This is your second revision. Once you are done with this, then you can go for some geography mentorship plus test series kind of program. Here you will get discussion videos along with mentorship sessions, and the test series will help you in revising the entire content in quick time. Generally the mistake what students do is कि उन्होंने कभी आंसर लिखना सीखा नहीं थ्रू PYQs और डेली आंसर राइटिंग, सीधा वो टेस्ट सीरीज में आंसर लिखने की कोशिश करते हैं, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ देयर कॉन्सेप्चुअल फ्लॉज, their preparation methodology inefficiencies and deficiencies, they struggle in test series and their confidence go down, and therefore that becomes very tragic in the long run for preparation. Okay, so this is one thing that you can do as far as geography preparation is concerned. Start with the NCERTs, then go to the class notes, then along with it pick the Rupa publication books, then standard books, go to the PYQs, get your PYQs evaluated, get a feedback on that, go for daily answer writing, 3 to 4 questions every day, then mentorship, and then finally test series plus mentorship. If you do all of that, there is a great chance you will score more than 300 plus. But as I said, what is crucial? Teacher is very crucial as far as the optional subject is concerned. So while you are picking any teacher, please go through the teacher, that whether the teacher जो वो बताते हैं जब वो पढ़ाते हैं तो आपको वो चीज समझ में आती है या नहीं आती. Okay, now let me tell you how can you enrich your answers in geography if you are already doing some kind of answer writing, because the aim is to score more than 300 marks. I'll give you some rules. Rule 1 is use diagrams, use maps. In fact, maps are also diagrams here because map is always to scale. You have to utilize them in as many questions as you can. Generally, the rule is 1 diagram per page. That would help a lot because geography is the only subject apart from say medical science which give you the opportunity of pictorial representation. So overall presentation आपकी काफी बढ़ जाती है. Aesthetics of your paper improve, and aesthetics की वजह से people start liking the paper. There is psychology in play. So that's rule 1. So you have to practice a lot of diagrams. Okay. Then second is try to give physical and human geography perspective in every answer. Like say for example, you're talking about monsoons. It's a physical geography question. You have written everything about monsoons. But at the end, in the conclusion, if you can also highlight how monsoons affect industry, agriculture, population, settlement, etc. in India, then आपका answer थोड़ा different हो जाता है. That should not be the core of your answer. Core should be the physical thing because it's a monsoon related question. But in the conclusion, try to do this as well. That is rule number 2. Then there comes rule number 3. Rule number 3 is never forget your syllabus. Never ever forget your syllabus. If you remember your syllabus, you can always insert a new perspective in your answer. जैसे आपको पता है political aspects भी कुछ चीज है, contemporary issues भी कोई चीज है, so you can always introduce that in your answer. And then comes rule number 4, and that is you should be very good with geographical thought. It means perspectives in human geography. You should be good with scholars. You should be good with philosophy of geography. Once you are good with all of that, you can definitely do it. And rule number 5 is always sit with an atlas. While you are preparing, always try to sit with an atlas. Suppose you are reading Circum-Pacific Ring of Fire, तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि एक्चुअली पैसिफिक ओशन का कोस्ट लाइन कैसा है. ठीक है, and try to make it in the form of a diagram in your notes. I'll also talk something about notes making. When you are making notes for geography option, many people I have seen that they get obsessed with notes making. Don't do that, please, because you will be losing on crucial time to enrich your content. Okay, that's why what you have to do is that your class notes, usko aap ye kar sakte ho that you make it an open A4 sheets, so that if you get a new idea related to the same topic, you can always attach. Or if you are writing in register, keep a margin on the right side, especially a big margin, where you can always write new things about the same topic if you gain new knowledge from the books or from other resources. Now, one who tries to plan his or her preparation in this phase, first gain awareness, then learn, then practice, then apply, and then enrich. There is no doubt that person can score more than 300 plus in geography optional. My dear friends, across the years, geography has been the king of optionals. Why am I saying so? Because it is the only optional subject which has consistently provided or consistently produced toppers who has scored more than 300 marks. In fact, in absolute terms also, just go through the past results. Most of the students who are getting selected in civil services examination have geography as their option. So geography has been an evergreen optional and will always be an evergreen option. Why? Because it is attractive for everybody, be it from science background or humanities. It is attractive for everyone because it has something for everyone and it can be prepared. The time required to prepare geography optional, most of the people would say 4 to 4.5 months would be sufficient to prepare the optional. Well, it's not sufficient. Take it from me. Geography optional time period would be around 7 to 8 months. And 7 to 8 months you have to give to your optional. एक बार देना है आपको, उसके बाद आपको revision ही करना है, ठीक है? And in that I am considering everything: NCERT, classes, tests, mentorship, daily answer writing, test series, PYQs, everything. I am considering everything in that. So 8 months would be sufficient. If you are preparing parallel with GS, maybe it can go to 10 months. So 10 to 12 months for GS and 8 to 10 months for optional is important. Because if you want to become an IAS officer, you have to be very good with your optional subject. Because if I divide all the papers individually, or optional के भी दो पेपर को मैं बांट लूँ, then every paper is of 250 marks. All the GS are of 250, essay is of 250, paper 1 250 of optional, paper 2 250 of optional. Out of 250, if maximum marks could be scored in any paper, it is paper 1 and paper 2 of the optional subject. And geography is one such subject. It means you can go like 170, 160. This is possible. You cannot imagine these kind of marks in GS. Okay, ऐसे में हो सकता है एक बार फिर भी हो जाए, but mostly optional becomes important. And the moment you cross 300 in optional, your chances grow to become an IAS officer. That's why take the preparation of geography optional very seriously and plan accordingly. So in this video, my dear friends, I have just shared a strategy that you can adopt with respect to geography optional preparation and how you should proceed with your preparation. I'm always available. Anybody who is facing problems in geography optional can reach out to me and I'll definitely try to help that aspirant. That is all from my side as far as this video was concerned. Thank you very much.